the Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Waiting to be profiled is jewelry designer Sandra Muller and artist Craig Carlisle, whose art you see on the set today. Sandra Muller, the owner of Sandra Muller Jewelry and Lila Gems, was born in Chile and went to boarding schools in France and Switzerland. She's a graduate of the Gemological Institute of America, and I guess you always wanted to be a jewelry designer, is that right?
Yes, it is right. I wanted to be a jewelry designer all my life. As a kid, I was very, very lucky growing up in Switzerland, seeing people wear wonderful jewelry. And I was actually very, very young, as I can remember, maybe 6 or 7 years old, already fascinated with jewelry.
Is that right? And you were with, in Switzerland, yes. I guess women weren't afraid to wear great jewels and get dressed up.
What happened is that I was very lucky to have family friends that had great jewelry, and they would come and just have lunch in their jeans wearing incredible jewelry, and I was no dummy. I would look at this jewelry and ask them if I could touch it and see it, and they were always very kind to me because I was just a kid. You know how it is with kids, they're so innocent, so they would take off all these big diamonds and big emerald necklaces, and that's how I fell in love with jewelry.
Is that right? Yeah. So they would just casually wear it out to dinner, breakfast, lunch.
I think so. I think that women really in Europe wear their jewelry, not really specifically to a party. They just wear it. It is part of their style.
It is. It's very stylish, right? Isn't it?
It is part of their personality. And sometimes you see a woman wearing the same jewelry for years and years and years. And it strikes you as her personality, her little, taste. And I do remember that from specifically, I'm sure you know her, Mirella Agnelli, the wife of the late Gianni Agnelli.
The Fiat heir.
Exactly. She's an extremely elegant lady who has been such an inspiration for me. And I remember her very well coming with this enormous beaded emerald necklace that she wouldn't even wear on the front. She would wear it in her back.
Just draped on?
Just draped in her back with a beautiful cashmere sweater, and I was always fascinated.
Were they buying jewels, these friends of your family, were they buying jewels from, say, Cartier, Chaumet?
I think so, yes. At that time,
well-known jewelers?
I think they were always people that had those designers create special jewelry for them.
They were having them made by those manufacturers.
Absolutely. I do remember very much having, don't know if you are aware, of course, of who Jean Schlumberger was. This fantastic jewelry
Did you ever meet him?
I didn't get to meet him personally, but I did study his jewelry while I was at the GIA. So I had been already in touch with his jewelry through my family, because part of my family members had special custom-made jewelry pieces and minaudière, the gold evening bags that we no longer use so much. I guess they're not so practical, but boy, they're beautiful.
Was he designing in Paris then, Schlumberger?
Yes, he was in Paris and in New York. Right. And people could have at that time as well, not only buying from Tiffany's, but they could have their own logo, their own initials on a minaudière. I remember Doris Brenner had that, such a beautiful, elegant lady, and it was just a very, very special time to start seeing jewelry, to start, your whole jewelry nowadays has changed a lot. Everybody has a beautiful jewelry.
But
right?
everybody's a designer too. You go into department stores where you
That's
would
so
never
true.
think about buying jewelry.
Yes, it's a problem. I find it a problem because I like the idea that there's beautiful jewelry for every single budget. I think that's very important.
That is
right?
important. You have a shop. So when they
Yes.
come into your shop, they just come in to see your jewelry.
Yes, I have my own store. I made my own little store. It's very elegant. I love working there. And they come just to see my jewelry. It's the store is called Sandra Muller. It's on Martel and Beverly Boulevard.
And then what is Lila Gems? When you were in India, were you you were
Yes.
influenced by your travels, I
Yes.
know.
Well, Leela.
Oh, Leela.
Yes, Leela in India means. I think what it means is really the story of your life. You know, your Leela, your footprint. And I wanted to
your
name
footprint.
it. Yes, you know, your monopoly of your
Yes,
own life.
I see.
The chances and the choices you start making. That's your Leela. And I wanted to name my company something beautiful because I do work a lot. So I do need to be inspired by something that means a lot to me.
You have certain styles that
Yes.
you've shown in your Los Angeles store. Say
Yes.
the scarf necklace.
Yes, the
And-
scarves are very simple, and they are, this particular
put
one
this
is
on.
amethyst. It's just pure natural amethyst beads, and you can wear it with a brooch. You can wear it tying it just as a scarf. And these are basically like a little black dress. They're something that you can wear so many different ways. You can wear them in the back or tie them and just wear them in the back in a very beautiful cleavage.
When we were kids, we used to make these things on little
Exactly.
spools. Is that really what it's
Exactly.
like?
Exactly. This
And
is
but you
the
use
version, the semi-precious.
Semi-precious
yes.
stones.
I've done them in silver and in 18 karat gold.
Oh, these are great. Then one of the other things that I think that we want to talk about is the scarf necklace.
This is a very specific necklace that I made. This is kind of a gypsy look. It's very, I love it. It's just very bohemian and full of color, and it's supposed to be worn with jeans and a t-shirt and a jeans jacket or something very, it's just very, you know, funky and fun. And
But these are all semi-precious stones
yes,
too,
they are.
18 karat gold.
18 and 22 karat gold wire. And that is particularly done by me. And then I'll show you
mean
something
hand?
else that is very interesting. This is a platinum ring with a pearl, a keishi pearl, with diamond beads. With this ring, I particularly won an award called the Spectrum Award.
Yes, I was going to say you did win an award for
Yes.
working in platinum.
Yes, this award is given by Platinum Guild International, which is actually platinum is one of my favorite metals to work in. And then I was going to
this
show
one,
you.
yeah, I love
yes,
this.
this is very special.
Just hold it
this,
still so he can come in on it.
This, I call these the seahorse bracelets. What they are is they're limited edition bracelets. They take about 5 months to make. It's a lot of work. This particular one is in 18 karat gold, and it has 40 carats of rose cut diamonds and of single cut diamonds.
Colored stone, colored diamonds.
Yes, these little ones here are brown diamonds, and the way that they're set is they can move. So these bracelets are special to me because they even have a little poem inside.
Do you sign them?
Yes, I've
You sign 'em?
started signing my jewelry a little bit differently nowadays. I don't only sign it with my name, but I sign it with a poem.
Oh,
Because
how
I thought that
nice.
somehow down the line it will end up somewhere, somebody having it in a store, in a little vintage store or something in 100 years. And the fact that it has a poem, this poem says, "Peace is possible."
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yes,
Do
it
you write them too?
No, I don't write the poems. I take poems that somebody else has written that inspire me.
Oh, that's
And
great.
I think it's wonderful to make jewelry that has something else than just being a jewelry. You know, something like this is such a special jewelry, you can actually leave
Yeah.
it on your dresser.
I love it. It's
at
like
night.
a piece of art.
when you're not wearing it. So that's the kind of thing. What
is this a charm bracelet?
Yes. Those are really summery, great citrine and 18 karat gold charm bracelets. They're very summery. They're
and
wonderful.
They're all attached to
a
wire on the inside?
Yes, they're all attached to an 18 karat gold chain, and they're really supposed to be very whimsical and fun to wear.
This is fabulous. And you do this in all different
colors. Yes.
And this is the turquoise and aqua.
Yes, turquoise and aqua and 18 karat gold. And also I want to show you something that is also quite fun. These here, I love rings and I love big jewelry. I love big jewelry. I think women should start wearing big jewelry because
this is all tremblant.
This moves. Yes, it's a flower ring, and what it does is that it moves when you wear it. This is citrine and 22 karat gold. And what I do with these rings is a little trick because I don't like sizing rings so much. So I make them open. So you go ahead and size your own ring by pressing here.
Oh, but
one day you wear it on your pinky, one day you wear it here, and it does work.
It doesn't fall off?
No, jewelry doesn't break. Thank God. So these are the flower rings, which are really whimsical, and they're very stylish, and it's all you need. When you wear one ring like this and a t-shirt and a pair of jeans,
that is so great.
So these are fun.
And then I want to show this too, because this is so beautiful. I love any mix of stones.
Yes, that's a gorgeous necklace that is very big, again, but you don't need to be a tall woman to wear big jewelry. This is something that I always tell clients. You can be very thin, very small, very petite, and wear something big. Think of Annette de la Renta, for instance. She's not a tall, incredibly, tall woman. She's a very petite woman, and she wears very big jewelry.
But this has pearls and what else? Citrine
and turquoise. And 18 karat gold beads, and it has everything.
It's so beautiful. Here's
Mimi Rogers.
What necklace is this?
This is a very similar necklace as this one that we showed here.
Right.
It was in coral and
what's it
turquoise. These don't really have a name. I call them gypsy because they're kind of gypsy. And this is Mimi Rogers going to my big fat Greek wedding opening with Rita. And that is an antique piece of, this is what was wonderful. It's a mogul jewelry, very important necklace that Elizabeth Taylor purchased one morning from me. And then that afternoon used in the Larry King live show. Let me put this out for you here. This was about 2 years ago.
And then she wore it on Larry King?
Yes, she wore it on Larry King that same night with a bracelet that I had sold her as well, and the earrings. I didn't even have time to photograph the bracelet because it was, I sold it in the morning, and at 3 o'clock she was already on Larry King.
And those were the earrings. This is another kind of a bracelet, right?
Yes. This
could be one of your earrings, though.
Well, if you're very exotic, then you could wear it as an earring. They are bracelets. I wear them together. They open like this, and they're really fun. They're, again, very summery. They're great for the spring that is coming so soon. And then I want to show you something here. This is a piece, this is a ring that I finished about 3 days ago.
It's love this.
This is a splash ring. What it means is it is 18 karat gold, and it is the movement of pearls as you photograph something falling in the water and splashing all over.
Are these freshwater pearls?
Yes, they are. And inside you see the brown diamonds that move. And if you see, it really splashes all over the place. I really love this ring.
We can see, besides the influence of family friends and great jewels in your past, you have a lot of influence from nature.
Yes.
And they look really beautiful. Sandra, thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for watching this part of the show. We'll be right back with Craig Carlisle. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. I'm with artist Craig Carlisle, who was born in Oklahoma City and in his teens moved to Columbus, Ohio to finish school. He earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Columbus College of Art and Design, and he has had exhibits, and his work has been in galleries all across the United States. When he moved from Ohio, he went to San Francisco, Dallas, New York City, and LA to live and to work. Didn't you want to put yourself down somewhere and stay in one place? What was all this moving around?
It's about discovering art, discovering life. And I feel pretty established now here in Los Angeles. And my art, wherever my art is where my home is.
Was the work different in each place?
It's downsized. When I moved to California, it downsized. When I was in Ohio and New York, it was much larger.
Because you were painting, you were working in New York as a gardener?
I had a job as a gardener to pay the bills, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
But then you were painting flowers, so evidently these places have influenced you.
Yeah, they absolutely have. And when I was in New York City, I was doing large paintings of these large heads, and they were in gardens. And
they were in gardens as well.
And the buildings, like the buildings you see in this painting here, are influenced from the skyscrapers and the buildings in New York.
Because you were working on top. I thought it was so interesting. You were working on top of the building gardens.
Yeah, the penthouse. I was helping with the penthouse gardens at the
Was
time.
that just some kind of specialty? Was it a special kind of?
A friend of mine had offered me an opportunity to work with them, and I took it up. And so what I would do is I would get up early in the morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the studio, because I had an outside studio where I was working, and I would work for a few hours and then meet him after breakfast, and we'd work till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I would go back to my studio and work until midnight.
So were you painting then trees and different things like that, or
No,
I
really
guess the skyscraper?
The trees, the buildings, the flowers were all kind of a background, an accent to the central figure. And I was either painting large heads, figures, little creatures.
And where did the big heads come from? The big heads, I guess, told a story. Is that right?
Yeah. The big heads started in the early 90s. And it was my chance to do the big heads came about because I was doing some commercial work that I wasn't satisfied with. And I was like, I just got to move on and do something else with my life. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well paint what I want to paint. And that's when the big heads came out. I knew I wanted to do something larger than life, and I started doing the large head paintings.
Well, then did you change where you were living? Did you move then?
Eventually I moved. I was able to move, yeah. I was in Columbus, Ohio at that time.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, so that was my hometown, and still is my hometown. And I was there till 1997, and then from there I went to New York City.
You were in Dallas too for a while? What were you doing
there? That was back when I was in college, yeah.
Oh, that was? But
I would do summer, but that's where I discovered fine art, the gallery scene. And Dallas will always be a precious memory for me because I would go there from college for summer breaks.
Were you painting then?
I was a commercial graphic designer major, and then when I went to Dallas and worked in the galleries, it gave me the chance to meet artists that were real artists, working, living, having families. They had studios, and what I would do is, as the behind-the-scenes guy, I would drive the van to their studios and pick up the artwork and bring it back, and I got a chance to meet them and really see for the first time that you don't have to starve to be an artist.
That must have been a great influence then on you.
Yeah, it really was, yeah.
But you also knew you had to get another job because artists are like actors in a way. You have to, you can't always, until you're able to have galleries and shows.
I've had some amazing jobs. Most of the jobs I had in the beginning were standard gallery jobs, picture framing jobs.
But those are good.
Those are great jobs to have, and they're very secure. And then I discovered that being in-house, locked up all day long, wasn't going to work for me, so I wanted to be outside a little bit. And back in the early 90s, I was even striping parking lots for a living.
You have a very sensitive take on the work. The work looks kind of whimsical and cartoonish, but there's a really sensitive inside to it, especially since 9/11. I think you say that your art has changed a lot from that.
It has, and my art for me, it starts out for me as a healing process. And I don't know what the healing process is I need personally for my soul, but that's channeled, through a higher source, through me, and it goes onto the board. I get that advantage at that point, and then from there it goes out to people, friends, clients, whoever, the world. And since 9/11, I really felt that's when the teddy birds really started to come about. And
these are teddy birds.
Yeah, these are teddy birds. They're part teddy bear and part bird.
But and I'm saying cartoon art in like the greatest of praise of your work. And it is trendy now. I think it's been a long time people who were doing this kind of cartoonish type of work didn't get recognized the way they should.
Well, they're fun, and it's developing characters. They're fantastic.
There's your background of the city.
Yeah, the city. Some of them are just portraits. Like this is just a standard, the portrait of the teddy bird, and it's kind of a.
He's called a teddy bird. So tell us
teddy
why.
Bird. This is the pink teddy bird.
He's not a pink monster.
No, he's not a pink monster.
What were the pink monsters?
The pink monsters were, I did those for about 2 years, and they were, it was ironic. They were monsters, they were pink, they were happy, they made you feel good. They hung out in these little environments where there were flowers and volcanoes and landscapes, and the teddy birds have been in some of the pink monster paintings.
Oh, they go to
and they all kind of end up in a little world together.
Were you always painting in this genre, or did it become trendy for you?
No, I've always painted in this.
You've always painted this one?
Yeah, really. What's the difference between the older paintings, the large head paintings, is I would use my whole body and my arm to paint with. They were large paintings and large brushes and oils. And with downsizing to the boards and doing the small teddy birds, I use fine little paint brushes with just a few hairs, and I'll sit for hours meticulously working on these paintings.
Do you use like a magnifying glass?
No, I probably should, but I don't.
What kind of material do you use?
These are acrylic. I work best with acrylic on the masonite.
It's a very thin.
Yeah, these are just manufactured boards that framed.
You keep talking about boards, but that's the frame, the square, right?
Right, the frame. So it's just a square frame, and with a piece of masonite attached to it.
Oh, I see. It's open. Let me just show how this is, because this is all part of the art. Yeah. This is the masonite on the inside, and this is you can see the 2-inch background. Do you have these made?
No, I buy those from the store.
They're made like this?
I used to make them back when we were in school. They taught us how to prepare everything, but it takes twice as long and twice as expensive, so I just buy it off the
Did you
shelf.
work on canvas before?
Used to always work on canvas, and I discovered the boards, and I just love working on them because I can hold them in my hand. The canvas I put up on the wall, and that's fun too. And most of the canvas paintings I do are for clients, commission pieces.
But when you do a show, an installation in a large gallery with these 8x10 and what are they, 8x8? How do you fill a wall? Galleries are big spaces.
Do a lot of paintings. Yeah, do a lot of paintings. And this show I'm having coming up this next month will be not as many paintings as before. I used to crowd the gallery.
They won't be bigger than this.
No,
they'll all
it'll
be this size.
Along the wall, 8x8-inch paintings all the way around.
Just a strip?
Yeah, just a strip of paintings. And all portraits, different looks, different colors. And it's a lot of fun to install the show.
You continue to be, I guess, influenced by your surroundings. How does it happen now in Los Angeles? What's around you here?
Friends, mostly friends. I have a lot of friends here, and I'm influenced by my friends. The other thing that motivates me is my cameras. And I go out and take a lot of pictures of people and the environments, the city, and then the buildings. These buildings would not stand if you built them. And because they're not.
They wouldn't stand if you built them?
No, they would come tumbling down, and they're all fictitious, and I love that. And so I'll take pictures of shapes and angles and perspective and all that, and bring it back to the studio, and then compose my painting.
What about color? Does that
color is very important, but the color just comes from within. I don't sit down and plan everything out. I don't map out the painting. I don't draw it out first. I let it unfolds as I'm working on it.
The backgrounds, though, look like they have to be. Like they're the same, these black ones.
Yeah, but they're all very different. I mean, they're different tones. I mean, this one has a little more red in it. That one has some blue in it.
So do you prepare the backgrounds?
The background?
No?
The background is just prepared.
It's all the part of the...
It starts out with the background. I'll paint the background maybe dark first, and then once I start painting, in this case, the teddy bird, I'll realize maybe it needs to be bright, and so I'll change the whole thing.
Oh, you can
But I just
change
change it as I go until it feels right, and then the final signature doesn't go on until the day before it goes out of my studio.
So you wait to sign it and make
Very
sure that it's
end,
done.
yeah.
I wanted to talk about this because this one is like just jumping out at the camera.
Yeah.
What is this guy?
That's the Peacemaker. Yeah.
He is? He doesn't look like a peacemaker.
But it's an extension of the pink monsters, and that's a blue monster. But that's what gives you an idea of what the pink monsters look like if you imagine pink fur. And that was one of the last monster paintings I did, and I did that one just after the war started a couple of years ago. I did that painting as not so much of a political statement, but just I wanted to spread some peace around because people were kind of feeling down. So I made one of the monsters, and it has a little peace sign dangling from his horns.
Did you make a lot of them?
No, the pink monsters, yeah, probably 50 or so.
But the peace ones,
No, just one. That's the only one.
Oh, this is the only one you made?
That's mine. I'm keeping that for myself.
Yours. This is your peace sign.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
That one hangs in my home. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. So what's the next step? Are they going to be little heads, big heads?
I think, no, what's next? I think the teddy birds need to be animated, come to life, become three-dimensional. And I
How
think
will you do that? Sculpture?
I would like to start with sculpture, do some work with the computer, and begin to animate them, have them move around, give them voices. I think they need voices. Let me just show you what this one's a great example. Is you'll notice that they have the beak, which shows you the bird, symbolizes the bird, and then each one of them has a smiley face mouth, and there you go.
Yeah, and he's got fur.
Yeah, they all have the smiley face, and it's kind of a plastered on smile. They don't feed from there, they don't speak from there. It's just an expression. So when you come up to the teddy bird, it's smiling at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They all
And
are.
you'll see, like in the one back here, in the city, you'll see an open beak. And see, so
up on top.
They communicate and they feed through the beak.
So he needs to do that.
Yeah.
Well, bring us your next group when you come back to visit.
Yeah.
Craig Carlisle, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us on the Joan Quinn Profiles. Keep writing to 777 South Figueroa, 44th floor, Los Angeles 90017. See you next time.